Welcome, everybody. My name is Brad Carrick. I'd like to welcome everyone to the first episode of Conversations Over Cocktails. I'm here with the Legally Vogue team, and as the editor of Legally Vogue, I thought it would be a good chance to dedicate this first episode to getting to know everyone. I thought the best way maybe to start was telling a little bit of my story. I just last weekend attended the 10-year anniversary, 10-year reunion of my law school at Harvard, which made me feel very, very old. And I realized that a lot has happened over that 10 years. I spent the first 3 years at a large corporate law firm, and then ran away trying to do something more creative and entrepreneurial. Spent some time traveling, and then went and got my MBA in Spain, and thought, why not start a fashion company? I started a brand called Souls, and we made shoes and backpacks and watches. And a couple things happened. I realized, one, the more I got to know the fashion industry and met other designers, I realized there were a lot out there with a whole lot more creative and artistic talent than I had. And that quite a few of them might need some business and legal advice to build their companies. So got together with my good friend Gregory and started working on fashion law. And now we run a law firm called Lord Bertram, and we're helping other fashion designers and other creatives build and grow their companies. And having a great time doing it, started Legally Vogue to help spread the word and get a little free resource out there to help people get to know a little bit more about this side of the business. And I thought I'd get to know everyone else in this fabulous rock star team. Start with Nishika, who's sitting closest to me, but perhaps came from furthest away. I heard we have something about New Zealand in your background.
This is true. Well, excited to be here, you guys. Very excited for what's to come. This is true. I was actually raised in a combination of Zambia, Sri Lanka, and New Zealand before I came to the US 10 years ago. So yes, New Zealand is as far away as it can possibly get. It takes 2 days to get there, and on the return, actually, you get here really fast. You get here even before you left New Zealand, which is awesome. So on your birthday, leave New Zealand, come to the US, celebrate twice.
New goal.
But it's gorgeous there.
It
You
is.
filmed Lord of the Rings there.
This is true. The one thing that really put it on the
I
map.
just said it because I was going to say
You're
it.
gonna say it, right.
So yeah, here I am. And so I own a women's wear clothing brand named De Rosairo. My background is I spent 10 years working in the Fortune 500 world with companies like Deloitte Consulting, Apple, Cisco, Salesforce, and others. And I did a whole host of things like mergers and acquisitions, executive coaching, technology transformations, and it was a fantastic period in my life. However, I wanted more, and more meant leaping off, what was a safe harbor and jumping into the deep end perhaps, but, with a spirit of thinking that, the entrepreneurial route was the right route for me. And so here I am with the brand De Rosairo and doing business consulting for other fashion designers who want to launch their own brands.
Well, it's certainly exciting. If I'm not mistaken, you're wearing one of your own pieces.
Of course I am, Brad. Thank you for acknowledging.
Well, I know because I have one myself that I
This
have
is
been known to wear on occasion.
That you totally rock.
Well, I try. I try.
He does. I've had many people saying, so is this women's wear or men's wear? Because that guy looks amazing in De Rosairo.
Well, thank you. And let's move on to Greg, who I believe your story started in high school.
Yes, it did. Yeah, when you're saying you're old, yeah, you're old. I've known Mr. Carrick since high school. We actually went to high school together, a small boarding school in Santa Barbara called Caity School. And he was 2 years ahead of me, and thankfully he didn't beat me up or haze me as much as some of the other upperclassmen. But,
just stole
water
your
under
lunch
the
money.
bridge. Right. Water under the bridge. Scary. But I'm a lawyer. I help creatives fulfill their dreams, basically. Solve problems, help them start companies. With a firm called Lord Bertram that founded 5 years ago. Before that, I was with a traditional law firm doing litigation in Los Angeles. And
Very interesting stuff.
well, yeah, it's interesting, but it's iron. So I made that switch, that entrepreneurial switch, and founded Lord Bertram 5 years ago and haven't looked back.
And you pulled up here in a little green race car of some sort. What was that piece of machinery?
Yeah, a hobby of mine. I do like to drive. I have a Lotus Elise, which I go out
And her name is?
Her name is Leia, because I swear, when I got her, I felt like Han Solo when he got the Falcon. So I call her Leia. Yeah, she's my princess. But yeah, I love driving her. So that's me.
Well, we're all interested to hear more about that. Let's move on to Caity, though.
Maybe we should film a segment in Leia. Because I've been in.
Well, perhaps we'll hear a little bit more about that. But first, I thought we'd go to Caity, and perhaps you can tell us how you have combined finance and fashion, because that seems like the two most separate and different things I've ever heard of.
Yes, it's a pretty unusual combination. Although I did just hear one that was even more unusual, a dentist and fashion.
Wow.
So I feel pretty good about my choices. But yes, I work full-time in finance for a San Francisco-based international hedge fund on the legal kind of compliance side, which means that we get along fairly well because I understand what they're talking about when they're speaking legalese. I run a fashion and lifestyle website called Moi Contre la Vie, which translates to me versus life. And in addition to that, which has been a great opportunity for me to meet local designers, business owners, and brands, it also introduced me to the gentlemen of Legally Vogue. I met them at a local holiday party a year and a half ago, and have been writing for the magazine since then. And I'm very excited to be joining the Legally Vogue team under the new helm as the fashion editor.
We're excited to have you. I think it's fair to say these days that it's not happening in fashion here if Caity's not involved. So.
And you can quote him on
That's a compliment.
Yeah, and let's move on to Jill. And I think that a big part of Legally Vogue is really helping our audience learn, and obviously learning takes teaching and mentoring, and I would love to give you Jill's entire teaching resume, but yeah, I didn't have enough room in my notes, and I got to Milan and decided I'd let you tell the story. So some teaching resume that involved teaching in Milan.
Yeah.
I'm dying to hear more.
Thank you, Brad, and thank you guys for having me. I'm so thrilled to be part of the team of Legally Vogue. And well, to answer your question, I have taught many places, but my favorite place to teach was in Milano. I brought 40 students from Northern California over to Milan, and let me just say, they were wearing the Ugg boots and the blonde hair, and on the cobblestone streets, lots of broken hearts, but lots of learning about fashion. It was the perfect place to, I mean, where else, right? To learn fashion, but there. So that was one of my favorites. But yes, so I love academia, and I am currently a professor here in San Francisco at the Academy of Art University. I've also taught at Parsons School of Design because I'm from New York. And my life before academia, I was an executive at different brands for a long time. A lot of Italian brands, including Ferragamo and Versace. And there I was in the creative marketing realm and branding area.
Well, great. Well, I think that's a good chance to get a little bit about the core team of Legally Vogue. Conversations Over Cocktails is supposed to be a relaxed and inviting atmosphere to learn a little bit about the business of fashion and how you can make your passion for fashion turn into a business and hopefully be profitable and turn into something that you can grow and turn from a dream into a reality. We invite you to join us for other episodes where we're going to dive a little bit deeper into some of the issues you may be facing if you're starting or growing a business. And Greg, perhaps you can tell everyone what we're drinking today and where we are.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Today I selected for us, these are vodka tonics, and we are at Wingtip Club, a private club in downtown San Francisco, in their illustrious Velvet Room. So, cheers.
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 See everyone soon.